February 1st, 2021. The time is a little bit after 5. We're going to open up the meeting. Everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So roll call. We have Charles Williams. Present. Bob Pollock. Present. Ricky Jackson is here. Greg Deutscher. Here. Greg Deutscher is on my phone. He's actually, we're doing speakerphone. It's very hard to hear him, so I apologize that my phone won't go up anyhow. So that's a quorum. Also present, we have the fire chief and our attorney. Approval of the minutes. The last set of minutes was done by Ed Zachnow, and Ed Zachnow's not here. So we will get back and get the minutes approved as soon as possible. Communications and claims. We started out with communications from the City of Michigan City. They sent us a pamphlet in. The pamphlet is actually instructions on how we're doing payroll now and how the secretary or the clerks will be doing the minutes and get those filed with the city.
The president has given me the voucher list, and I will go down through it and make sure when we turn it in that it is correct, or let them know that this is the first time I've used this voucher list, and we'll find out if we have any corrections. But in terms of the payroll, let me start down through the payroll, and I will use the names that are officially here, just to make sure that somehow there isn't some confusion about who should be paid. This payday will be for January for the members of the Michigan City Fire Merit Commission, but I will ask for approval for 2 paydays for our attorney, because she should have been paid in January, but because we didn't have a meeting, we were unable to get her paid, so I will go through that also. But starting with the commission, now this is payment for January, which will be done in February, and that's standard procedure. Greg Deutscher, $150. Ricky Jackson, $150. Robert Pollock, $150. John Stimley, $150. Charles Williams, $150. Totals out $750. Are there any corrections to this? We will accept that. Attorney fees. Our attorney fees for January, which should have been paid in January, but were not because we didn't meet to approve it, $451.25. So theoretically, for the month of January, $1,201.25. In addition to that, in the same motion, I will also ask for the attorney fees to be approved for the month of February, again, $451.25. All of this totals out to $1,652.50. Any questions? Okay, in terms of where we stand, just to bring everybody up to date, as of 12/31/2020, we used $25,756.35 of our budget, which we actually had $31,944.65 for our budget, which meant that we used 55% of our budget. Now, the reason we weren't able to use our budget the way we would have liked to is because what we had was advertising for applicants that didn't meet what we thought it would meet. We did not have a second physical agility testing. We did not have a second academic testing for applicants, which we will now be discussing for this year, doing it this year. We didn't have the practice for the physical agility test, and we didn't send the number of people to the fire academy that we had originally scheduled when the budget was made out. But I assume that as we go along and get retirements and transfers and whatever else, we will have those individuals that have to be replaced to go through this process. Difference in terms of the budget that we had approved and what we actually used, $6,188.30. That does not include $10,500 that was taken away from us at mid-year. So the total difference came in for the year from what we originally projected for the budget, $16,688.30. I did talk to the city controller because I thought we might need some more money. I was asking for an encumbrance entry. She said, well, I'll tell you what, I really don't want to do that, but I'll keep it in the back of my mind that you didn't use the money that you were allocated for because we couldn't go through the testing process, and if you need some extra, we can talk about it. So that's where we stand with that one. Any questions of anybody? Thank you.
Okay. Before we get any further on this, Commissioners, do you want to hold a vote for officers for this year, or do you want to postpone it until we meet our new commissioner? Because he's not here tonight, correct?
No, well, my personal opinion is we should wait until Mr. Stanley is here because we should have all five of us involved in this.
Greg, what's your thoughts?
That sounds like about me.
Greg's good with that too. Okay. All right. Next on the list that we need to talk about, Ms. Schaffner, the attorney.
I do not have a report.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Will you be our attorney for another year?
Yes, however, I have not received a contract from Ms. Page,
Okay.
so I will reach out to her.
So at this point, Commissioners, can I get a motion to
I will move that we hire Ms. Schaffner for the year 2021.
is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Greg?
Aye.
So it's unanimous.
Ms. Page has sent it to me to review. Prior.
We don't have our city council member here tonight. It's my understanding we have a new one. It is, let's see, Sean Fitzpatrick is our new city council liaisons. So he's not here tonight. Ms. Schaffner, you don't have a report?
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Union President, 475. How we doing?
Well, good, Howard.
You have anything you want to talk about?
Nothing I think of off the top of my head.
You guys,
I'm sure we will, but
Okay.
at the very moment, I mean,
you guys did have a election and brought in a new commissioner, correct?
well, the way it actually worked, I was just talking to Mr. Reels about that. From what I understand how that went was, we did, there was a nomination made, since as that nomination was up October 31st, he can still remain in that position as long as he wanted. Well, somebody wanted to make any nominations, so we set that up at the clerk's office, and they pretty much handle all that. Put the notices up. From what I understand, it was just one nomination, and by that alone, I guess he gets the spot.
Okay.
It's considered he's got a vote. You know, if you got a nomination, you got at least one vote. So that's how that went. And I didn't actually know that happened until Friday, the chief of go called me. And I was going to get hold of the clerk's office just to make sure of everything, but I was in the middle of doing a convention for our union on the computer. And I had spoke to a vice president that was going to handle it, going to get up to the clerk's office, and I haven't had a chance to speak to him and see what he found out. But, yeah, that's how that went.
Okay.
If you would, I need to turn the payroll in by Friday. Now, we have Mr. Stenley approved
Yeah.
for January. If that changes, is it possible to let me know
Yeah,
before?
I'll double check with the clerk's office tomorrow, in case Joe didn't, and just make sure that that's
And make sure Mr. Stenley accepts. I mean,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And then with that, if you would please have Mr. Stimley get a hold of Chief Legault,
Okay.
and then he can send out his phone number and email address so we can notify him of meetings and that type of stuff, because I don't know if he got notified about tonight's meeting yet or not. So, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. Next on the list is the chief's report.
I have one quick question before I...
Absolutely.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, do you have his email? do we send him a reminder of the merit commission meeting? How do we contact him?
Well,
You guys?
yeah, when we meet, because I just found this out myself.
Correct.
So when we meet, what we do is I send out the agenda and the media notice.
But he'll be
He's actually
included in-
part of the,
He's included in it?
Yes.
Okay. So he might not have been contacted.
right, right.
Okay, I just want to clear that up, make sure I wasn't supposed to contact him. You guys will get his email and all that.
And by the way, Chief, before you start, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So I know that, yeah, you kind of quick, fast, in a hurry.
So my report, the fire department responded, and this is for the whole year, since we didn't have a January meeting. This is the information for the previous year, 2020. The fire department responded to 3,549 calls, service for 2020. In 2019, we responded to 3,300 calls. A shift responded to 1,166 calls. B shift responded to 1,229 calls. C shift responded to 1,145 calls. The members of the Michigan City Fire Department conducted approximately 10,671 hours of training during the year of 2020. During 2019, there was 7,373 hours of training. Now I'm going to go in, we'll do one at a time. I'm asking for approval for Firefighter Jenkins not to have to attend a fire academy and EMT class. Now, I'm going to read this. This is from our division of training. To whom it may concern, after evaluation from former training officer Drew Blue and myself, this is coming from Jason Weiss, our training officer right now. It is in our opinion that Derek Jenkins has received adequate firefighter and EMS training from prior training institutes before being hired by Michigan City. Probationary firefighter Jenkins is currently an advanced EMT through the state of Indiana. This meets the requirements of the Michigan City firefighters contract with the city of Michigan City that requires new hirees to be a minimum of Indiana certified EMT basic. It will be your commission that makes the decision whether or not probationary firefighter Jenkins attend District 1 Fire Academy in March 2021. Thank you for your time. Jason Weiss, Training Officer. Now I have the Firefighter 1 and 2 certificates through the Homeland Security on him and his EMT certificate also. So they're all up to date.
Commissioners, is there a motion to bypass the academy since he already has his certificates?
I move that we make a motion that the firefighter be accepted.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Williams. I have a second by Mr. Pollack. We'll call for the vote. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Pollack?
Yes.
Mr. Deutscher?
Yes.
And myself, yes. It's unanimous. He's good to go, Chief.
Okay?
Second one.
I ask now for approval for Buddy Rezick not to attend a fire academy, but he will have to attend the EMT portion of the District 1 Academy in March of 2021. Here's a letter from our training division from Jason Weiss. To whom it may concern, after evaluation from myself, it is my opinion that Buddy Rezick has received adequate firefighter training from prior fire training institution before being hired by Michigan City. Probationary firefighter Rezick will need to attend the EMT basic portion of District 1 Academy in March. He will receive an EMT certification that meets the requirements of the Michigan City firefighters contract with the city of Michigan City that require new hirees to be a minimum Indiana certified EMT basic. It will be your commission that makes the decision whether or not probationary firefighter Rezick attend District 1 Fire Academy in March 2021. Thank you for your time. Well, again, I have his Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2 certs through Homeland Security. They're all good to go. But he did not attend the EMT class, so that's basically what he'll have to do.
Commissioners, we accept the chief's recommendation.
All have a motion to accept the chief's recommendation and a second. Motion was by Pollock, second was by Williams. Calling for the vote, Greg Deutscher.
Yes.
Charles Williams.
Yes.
Bob Pollock.
Yes.
And myself, yes. You're good to go, chief.
Okay, due to driver operator Andrew Blue resigning from the department, I will need the next name for driver operator and your approval for promotion of this rank. So I will need to get with you guys to get the next driver operator. So I just need you guys.
Make a motion that we give the chief the next name for promotion to driver operator.
So I have a motion by Mr. Williams,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Pollock. Calling for the vote, Greg Deutscher.
Yes.
Yes. Charles Williams.
Yes.
Bob Pollock.
Yes.
And myself, yes. Drew is leaving us?
He left.
He left.
Yeah, his last day was Friday. That's my next, well, that's, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Well, that's what I got, is next one. So, with that being said, with Drew Blue leaving, Charles Williams asked if I could call the next person up on the hiring list to replace Drew Blue. I said I would, and I offered it to the first number, the first name that you guys gave me, and he declined. So I contacted the second person. He actually met with us today, and he's going to give me an answer by tomorrow.
Okay.
We're moving on replacing Andrew Blue.
Okay.
I am asking for an extension for the probation period on a probationary firefighter. This is due to the scheduling of the EMT certification per Indiana State Homeland Security. This has been done in the past for firefighters on probation. So I'd like to ask up to 6 months for testing requirements.
Commissioners, is there a motion to extend this fireman's training time?
I'll move we extend for the chief's recommendation.
I have a motion by Mr. Pollock. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Williams. Is there any questions? No? Calling for the vote. Mr. Deutscher?
Yes.
Okay, it's a yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Pollock?
Yes.
And myself, yes. It's unanimous. Good to go.
Driver operator Frank Rebeck has been appointed deputy chief. Rebeck has been with the department since 2012. He holds the rank of driver operator. He showed great enthusiasm in moving the department forward. I look forward to working with him as my new deputy chief. When Drew Blue left, he was the deputy chief. So. The department has been utilizing the training facility on Hitchcock Road. The training department has built a basement fire training prop with 4 Conex boxes. They've also set up a workout area in the main steel building that firefighters can use on duty and off duty at their leisure time. They've been using that quite a bit. So, now almost done here. On February 26, 2021, firefighter Steve Garner will be retiring with 35 years of service. It has been an honor working with Steve. He has been a dedicated professional firefighter throughout his career. He will be missed, and it will be hard to fill his shoes. We wish him the best in retirement. Bob will be retiring at the end of this month.
Congratulations to him.
Anniversaries. Captain Randy Dibble, with 34 years. This is all this month in February. Captain Dave Nesbo, 32 years. Driver Alan Craigbaum, 30 years. Captain Chris Kalikowski, with 29 years. Firefighter Brandon White, with 11 years. Firefighter Eugene Hannes, with 4 years. Firefighter David Versinio, 3 years. Firefighter Jake Irvin, 3 years. Firefighter Chris Zabutis, 3 years. Firefighter Chris Mazar for 3 years. Firefighter Kyle Gish for 3 years. And Logan Khalid for 1 year. That's the end of my report. Do you have any questions?
Chief, I take it, didn't we lose a firefighter? Didn't we have a firefighter that passed within the last couple of months?
Retired.
Retired?
Not on duty, no.
Okay, all right.
We had two firefighters, or 2 retired firefighters actually. Steve Craigbaum and what's the other one? Do you remember? Sorry, he was waiting for my time.
Okay.
So yeah, those are retired guys.
They can't remember the other name.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay, old business. Old business. Old business. Charles, can you tell us about our hiring status, our application status?
As of now, we have 19 applications, and we're going to have to try to figure out some way to get letters out to these people. I'm not a secretary, so I know I won't be doing it, so. But we do need to, go through them, which the applications are in the office in there. Somebody else should look at them also to make sure, that I didn't miss anything. And we need to get the letter, we'll probably need another executive session to figure out a date and then get these letters out to these people.
Out of the 19 applications, what was your stats as for minorities?
There were 3 blacks and 2 Hispanics.
Okay. All right.
And with that being said, that doesn't help our minority hiring
Not at all.
situation.
No.
Because
Greg just said not at all.
that doesn't help it at all. Because if any of those guys didn't make it, we're going to be right back in the same position that we're in right now.
Okay. Do you guys have an idea of when you want to try doing a testing, or do you want to just wait and try to open up the application process again? I can't see putting another ad in the paper. We put an ad in the paper. I actually went the same size ad that was done the last time. The only thing that I changed was the dates on it through the News Dispatch. That 7-day ad, which was only a couple inches by a couple inches big, literally cost the city $861 for 7 days. And out of the 7 days, we got 19 applications. That can't.
Out of the 7 days, we actually only got 11. But we had some applications.
That's true. We already had some prior to that.
Advertising.
So, I mean, if you guys have got ideas, then
Well, I've done this in the past, but we need a secretary to type it up. I've taken the notice about us accepting applications. Well, first of all, we posted them in the various firefighter areas in the stations. So everybody knew about that, and we got a lot of applications as a result of the firefighters talking to their friends and neighbors et al. To please, if you're interested, send us an application. Then I would take them to, first of all, Ivy Tech, and they always posted 3 of them out there. I'd take them to Work One. I would take them to some of the volunteer fire departments, Cold Spring Township and Center Township being the biggest ones. We can do all that, but I need one like Charles. My wife can't read my handwriting. So as a result, we've been married 54 years. We need somebody that can do this.
all right.
Maybe it's a good thing my wife can't read my handwriting.
I think what our best bet's going to be is we need to hold just an executive session. Go through this, assign each person something that's going to have to happen and going to have to take place, and go that route. So we can get together and figure out an executive session between now and our next meeting. All right.
I've always worked on the back of the secretary.
I agree with you.
I didn't hear that. What did you say?
Greg said he thinks that we should be working on finding a secretary. All right. Anything else on the old business, new business?
Well, just one thing on the new business, and this is nothing that you have to really hurry about. I would like to see us think about what it would take to have a fire academy here in Michigan City. Obviously, we've got well-qualified people, I think, to do that. We have people that teach at the A.K. Smith Center in the fire science classes. It would certainly be good for us, and I think This way, the firefighters who are interested in doing it probably could make some more money. And I'd like to see us keep the money in Michigan City as long as we can do that. But no hurry on it. Maybe check with the training officer, find out what it might require.
Sure, they have discussed this quite a bit, and we're discussing it now, actually a little bit more. So it's something we're looking into. We do have to crunch the numbers and see what instructors we have. I mean, the Mac Fire Academy is free, basically. It's District 1, sponsored by District 1, so it's actually free to us. So it's hard, and they have a pretty good program. We've been happy with it. So the only problem is the timing. You know, if we have hirees that come on right after the academy's done, then it's almost a whole year before they hold one. So if they were to go to 2 a year, it would be more feasible, you know, as far as timing wise. But it's something we're looking into, and I'll get back with you on that. I did have a question under, I believe, old business. We talked about it back in December, I believe, on the process of the physical agility test. We brought you some information on doing the CPAT over there, and having them. Is that still what we're looking at? Because if we have to set it up out here, it's going to cost you probably the same or more. From what the idea that we had last time was to do the written test and the ladder climb, and then once I believe you stated once we got closer to the hiring, then we would send these applicants over, maybe 3 or 4 of them to do the CPAT.
And I think that's...
Is that going to be in your...
I think that's a good way to go. The only thing that I would push for that is we need to set it up to where we're paying the bill. I still don't believe it's right for someone to turn around and put money out of their own pocket to go take the chance on getting a job. I really don't. I mean, I understand the commitment that they make, and I think that literally with the money it would save the city should be able to do that. If we've got 4 guys we want to send over there and, you know, and do it, because it's so much for each practice, and then that includes their test, is the way I read it.
Correct.
So if we can set that up through the city and through them to where they will bill us for the people that we send over there, it's still going to be a huge savings to do that. Instead of having 15 firefighters stand out there 3, maybe 4 times and deal with that, it's going to be a huge savings. I just don't believe it's in our best interest to have somebody pay for that out of their pocket. That's another thing that would deter someone from wanting to even apply.
I just want to see if we're still on board with that.
I like it. That's the only issue I have with it. Otherwise, I think it's a great idea.
You guys actually had the idea of waiting, not sending everybody over there, but as the
list comes down.
Top 4 or 5,
Yep.
you need 3 people, you would send 4 or 5 over there. And then paying is all, you know, that's entirely.
And even if we can schedule, like now, we have a general idea we need X amount of firefighters by this time, because you got guys that, you call it the drop, they're getting ready to do the drop, or they're going to retire. So we know that we've got 5 retiring this year, because if I remember right, that test is good for 1 year, correct? If they go over there and do their...
I have to check on that, I believe you're correct.
Because I think it's good for 1 year.
Anybody else?
Certified CPAT is good.
1 year?
Thank you. But
So
if
I went and I was number 6, and then you think, I have to go again the next year.
yes, yes.
And that's why you guys are going to wait and not send anybody until close to, like if we have 2 or 3 guys come up to retire, then you'd send these people, have them do the CPAT, and then they would, you know, it'd be close to their hiring date.
Right, but what if those first 3 guys did wait? So we send 3 more?
Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah, because they do it every so often. It isn't like it's just once a year. Every so often they do the testing type deal. But again, I mean, my only stance on it is the fact that I still don't believe it should come out of their pay or out of their pocket. You know, that there's some people that literally that extra $100 or $200, that's a lot of money to some people.
Sure.
It really is. So, you know, not everybody's driving Mercedes like you, Chief.
If you want to put it on, I can put it before the department, see if we get enough response. Do that. It's entirely up to you guys. We were just approached you guys a while back.
No?
I believe they approached you, and then we were talking about it.
Yep.
I didn't even know where we're at.
And actually, when we did our last testing, me and you had a conversation, wasn't it? And I apologize, I can never remember your name. So we had, and he's the one who actually was the very first one who introduced me to the idea. And then afterwards, I was approached by Drew Blue and a couple of the other guys. So I think it's a fantastic idea of people getting their CPAP, but I think we should pay for it. I really do. So, yeah, that's not to say, because, we talked about it, they could take that and take it and go to another fire department. Sure, they really could. But if we know that we're looking at 5 firefighters and we send 4 guys over there, there's a good shot that they're coming in, because they've already done everything else. So,
We just need to come up with a procedure, and then we'll...
yep.
And along with second thing of old business, or I guess it's old news, whatever. How long is this list that I have, you're giving me names from? Do you have an expiration?
That list expires in October.
So I have, like I said, the second person's been contacted. He's going to give me an answer tomorrow. I believe there's only 2 more on that list. So I have a total of 3 people now that we're going to be hiring. It'll be later, it'll be before the October, so hopefully this guy accepts and the next 2 accept later on in the year, otherwise we're out of people.
Great.
So that's something to think about.
Okay.
You guys can think about. We'll be exhausting that list here pretty quickly.
Okay.
Before October, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
I'm sure.
they all accept, so.
Well, we put them on the list before October.
And then we gotta move on.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Chief?
I believe that's it.
Any other old business? Greg, you got anything in the way of old business?
No.
Okay. All right, at this point, we're going to open it up to public comments. Public comments.
I got a quick question for the chief.
Yes, sir.
Before that, Terry Kruger. I texted him when I found out Terry Kruger was the firefighter.
Oh, thank you.
Retiree
Thank you.
that passed away. The other thing, you extended out a firefighter for EMT. Now, let's say he takes the test this week and he passes.
It's up to.
So you just resend it and then he...
Up to, that's why it's up to 6 months. As soon as that.
That's all I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I assume so, but I didn't want.
Correct, you're correct. That's why I say up to 6 months. As soon as this EMT is done, we're good to go.
Cool.
I'll go back to these guys and we'll get them put on smart.
I assume so, I just wanted to...
Yeah, I should have made it more clear, but that's why I just said up to 6 months.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Any other public comments? Public comments? Public comments? Okay. Commissioners' comments? Greg, you got anything?
No.
Okay. Charles, Bob, you guys are good?
Yeah.
Okay. Chief, I got one thing for you.
Yes, sir.
We do food giveaways through the different organizations. One of the biggest ones we have is at the Market Mall in Michigan City. If you guys have ever seen it, literally people line up to get food, and they line up all the way around the Market Mall, starting at Carson's, going around past Sears, all the way down around the parking lot, past JCPenney's, and wraps all the way around the building. Okay. The last one we had, the group of guys that comes in and hands out the food. They actually load the food into the cars. Some of them have tested positive, so they were quarantined. At the last minute, when we were out there getting ready to start this, people already lined up and worried we were going to cancel. I put a phone call out to you. You sent a group of firefighters. I wanted to tell you thank you and make sure you guys understood how much it's appreciated. Those firefighters and yourself, you loaded over 400 cars in less than 45 minutes. So that's almost like the cars didn't stop, they just kept working their way around. But they did a fantastic job, everybody was impressed. Kind of a last-minute emergency type situation. Those people, I would say for the most part, they needed that food, and you guys pulled it off, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anytime you got any help, we'll be out there.
Anybody got anything else? No? Meeting is adjourned, thank you.